What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, man. And the Golden State Warriors has already reported, paid Jordan Poole 4 years, $140 million. But then a few hours later, it comes out they paid Andrew Wiggins $109 million. And he gets a player option on the last year of his deal. So what does that mean for Mr. Green? He's up out of there. That's for sure. They ain't keeping him. They've gone into the luxury tax at this point anyway. So, that's pretty much it. And then on that last video, you could check that out. He talked about you better be ready with what comes with letting contracts linger on players and all of that. So, Poole and Wiggins actually predicted this after they won the championship last year. Did you see them celebrating in the locker room? They said, "We about to get the bag."
Yes, we can do that. You were world champion, and you about to get a bag. No. You about to get a bag. We about to get a bag. We about to get a bag. We all want to get a bag.
So, man, ain't that crazy how that all played out? I thought so, too. Let's get into what Shaq said, man. Shaq, we know he's from the old school. He's had documented fights with Kobe Bryant in practice. He's fought with several players on the court, including Charles Barkley, Brad Miller. I mean, that's just what the game was back in the day. So, Shaq's take is going to be different than a lot of the current media on this because, back then we didn't see those things in real time. It was between the team, the players that was there, the staff, and it never got out. You hear about it, you'll hear about Jordan punching Kerr, but you never, ever in a million years see footage on the fight. Only fights you would see is like ones that happen in the game live. You see like Doug Christie, Rick Fox. You'd see JoJo English and Derek Harper. You'd see all these fights, but they happen on TV live where it couldn't be edited. You know what I'm saying? So let's get in the Shaq take though. I'm gonna react to what he says while he's saying it, and y'all tell me what you think.
All you people messing with Draymond, mind your damn business.
Sorry, Shaq. That's not how these type of things work, bro. Continue.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, no, mind your business. Yeah, I know the game is a nice game and this and that, and we should get along. But you guys who don't know anything about competitive sports, you have no idea what you're talking about. So just shut the hell up and be a fan.
Okay, see, so Shaq, that works both ways. I understand where you're coming from. I get what you're saying, but just shut up and be a fan. That's not what this generation does. Things happen in real time. Everybody has a voice. So, yeah, you could say social media is responsible for a lot of these things getting blown up out of proportion. But at the same time, this is stuff people was thinking the whole time. Everybody just didn't have a voice. So as far as shut up and be a fan, I mean, you got followers on your social media platforms. And that's how you get brand deals and different things like that. So, you Shaq. No doubt about it, but that helps, to be an influencer online.
This happens, okay? It happens to Steve Kerr. If you want to go back to the thing, if you want to go back to that thing that did, Steve Kerr said Michael Jordan punched him in the face, and he went back at Michael, and then from that day on, he gave Michael respect.
Okay, Shaq, so this goes back to my original point. We didn't actually see the fight footage between Kerr and Jordan in real time. We never saw it. We heard he blacked his eye. You could speculate on how it went. Nobody actually saw it, but those players in there, Phil Jackson, team personnel, trainers, whatever. That's the only people that saw it. So, again, not the same thing.
This happens all the time. I'm going to go on record. I touched a lot of people up. Now, why he got touched up, let's just speculate on why he touched up. I think, and Kenny has touched on this a lot, when you win the championships, the others come back, they come back different. They come back in the glasses. They come back in the Ferrari, especially if it was the other who played a big part in you winning. And Jordan Poole definitely played a big part in them winning. So I think, a lot of times those people try to check the pecking order status. The pecking order status for that team belongs to three people: Draymond, Clay, and Steph.
Shaq, now I definitely agree with you on that. As far as the younger players, once you start winning rings with them, the pecking order gets checked by them and they check the temperature of certain players, you start to feel like, at first where they could talk to you, they were a little bit over you at first. You start to feel like you're ascending closer to their level. So you have more of a voice. And so, yeah, that does cause a clash sometimes. On the flip side, Jordan Poole has gone over and beyond, because the reason I say that is because when Clay was injured, his development, the player he became, helped soften that blow and allowed the Warriors to work through that, working Clay back in slowly. And they didn't miss a beat. He found his niche back on the bench, and sometimes it's hard to find a player that ascended like that and then is willing to happily go back to the bench after getting to that level. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, Shaq. But I think Jordan Poole has earned the right to have a little bit more of a voice.
Because if we're being honest, and I'm just pushing back, Jordan Poole had more to do with that championship than Draymond Green did.
Not really. No. Talking a little too greasy to Draymond, and Draymond had to check him. This happens. This happens in street ball. This happens in AAU. It happens in the football league. This is what we do.
Great points there, again, by Shaq. As far as Draymond did have a lot to do with the ring, just being a presence, guarding the people that needed to be guarded at specific points in the game. Even though, I think Andrew Wiggins in the finals probably had the biggest contribution defensively, because he had to slow down Jason Tatum, and he did an excellent job. He actually outplayed Tatum in those finals. The wings had to help out on the glass, and Steph did too, but Andrew Wiggins was grabbing some big boards over Al Horford and they're bigs, Robert Williams, all those guys. So Wiggins definitely played a big role. But back to what Shaq said, yeah, this stuff goes on at AAU. If you're going to be a part of a sport, it goes on at AAU, it goes on in the NFL, MLB, any sport on any level, pretty much. You're going to have fights. Fights are going to happen. That's what happens when competitive juices are flowing. However, it's just the way he was talking about the fans. The fans are going to have an opinion, buddy. That's what drives interest in the sport. So you can't just expect them to have an opinion on just your play. Even though I try to have most of my opinions solely based on that, we're going to also have opinions about the stuff off the court, because that's kind of what draws people into being fans of the player they like. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like to see who they are off the court too. So you can't have that both ways, Shaq. You can't have the fans be quiet when there's something controversial going on, because guess what they're still doing when they're talking about this? They're still actually being fans. They can't turn that off. So when something controversial happens, whether their take is good or bad, they're going to have one. And because you don't want them to be disinterested, because then the game, loses funding, loses support and everything else. And the game has gone so far that wouldn't be good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about what Shaq had to say about this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.